I'm always on the lookout for something special for Christmas morning that is delicious and fast, and if I can do the prep work ahead of time, then it makes the recipe even better. These savory scones fit the bill. To make these savory scones, you will need 2.5 cups of flour, 2 tablespoons of sugar, 1 tablespoon of baking powder, 1 teaspoon of coarse salt, 1/2 cup of cold butter, 2 large eggs, 2/3 of a cup of buttermilk, 2/3 of a cup of Gruyere cheese grated, 1/2 cup of slightly sauteed chopped prosciutto ham, 1/4 of a cup of grated Parmesan cheese, and 1/2 cup of chopped green onions, and 2 tablespoons of cream to brush on the top of the scones before baking. Your first step is to add your salt, your sugar, and your baking powder to your flour and stir it together to blend well. Your next step is to cut in your stick of butter. I've kind of cut it up a little bit, and using a pastry cutter, you need to just cut this into the flour mixture until it's about the size of small peas. This takes a while. You're looking for a coarse crumb and well incorporated butter. Now we'll put this aside. In another bowl, fairly large bowl, add your cheese, your prosciutto, your onions, and your Parmesan cheese. Hold out a little Parmesan cheese for topping the scones before they're baking. And just mix this all together. Another bowl, add your 2 eggs, and using a whisk, beat them lightly. And now add in your buttermilk and whisk it all together. Now add your egg mixture and your buttermilk mixture to your flour, and using a spoon, I think the spoon is your best tool, just incorporate the egg, milk, and flour. Now add your cheese, your prosciutto, and your onion mixture to your dough and mix thoroughly. On a lightly floured breadboard, take out your dough, and it will be slightly sticky. And just using your hands, we're going to knead it gently until it all comes together. And boy, does this smell good. Now take your dough and add it to your lightly floured breadboard, squaring off the edges. And now just using my rolling pin, I'm just rolling it out to about 3/4 of an inch in thickness. I'm going to just guessing, I'm just going to cut my dough into thirds, and then each of the pieces in half. And now each of the squares into a triangle. Place your scones on a parchment-lined baking sheet, and using your half and half, brush each of the scones and then sprinkle lightly with a little bit of the Parmesan cheese, and then this will go in the refrigerator for 30 minutes before baking. Now, one of the beautiful things about this recipe is the ones you don't cook can be, at this point, just put in the freezer and saved for another baking in the future. Lightly sprinkle with some Parmesan cheese on top and into the refrigerator. When you're ready to bake, preheat your oven to 400 degrees, and the scones will bake for about 20 minutes or until they're golden brown. These warm, light, delicious scones are a great breakfast by themselves, but also served alongside of almost anything. And if you reheat them, be sure to wrap them in foil and reheat them in the oven for about 10 minutes for the best results. A microwave will dry them out.